International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Jeremiah Say. Men of quality respect women's equality.
Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who said, "Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time."
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Hillary Clinton, who said, "Never doubt that you are valuable and powerful and deserving of every chance in the world to pursue your dreams."
My favourite quote is by Alice Walker, who said, "The most common way that people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any."
My favourite quote is by Sheryl Sandberg, "We must raise the ceiling and the floor."
The time is always right to do what is right. Martin Luther King Jr.
It's by Maya Angelou. She said, "I learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel."
It's by Amanda Gorman, who said, "For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it."
Here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. Michelle Obama.
My favourite quote is from To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, who said, "You never really understand a person until you consider things from their point of view, until you climb into their skin and walk around in it."
I want to quote Eleanor Roosevelt, who said, "Where do universal human rights begin? In small places close to home, so close and so small that they cannot be seen on any maps of the world, yet they are the world of the individual person, the neighbourhood he lives in, the school or college he attends, the factory, farm or office where he works. Such are the places where every man, woman and child seeks equal justice, equal opportunity, equal dignity without discrimination. Unless these rights have meaning there, they have little meaning anywhere. Without concerned citizen action to uphold them close to home, we shall look in vain for progress in the larger world."
My favourite quote for International Women's Day 2021 is by Reb Menachem Mendel of Kotsk, who said, "If I am I because you are you, and you are you because I am I, then I am not I, and you are not you. But if I am I because I am I, and you are you because you are you, then I am I, and you are you."
My favourite quote is by Michelle Obama, who said, "Do we settle for the world as it is, or do we work for the world as it should be?"
My favourite quote is by Serena Williams, who said, "Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We are strongest when we cheer each other on."
My quote for International Women's Day 2021 is from Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. "Prejudices, it is well known, are most difficult to eradicate from the heart whose soil has never been loosened or fertilised by education. They grow there, firm as weeds among stones. So let's educate ourselves to understand what we don't know about prejudice."
Is by Malala Yousafzai. "We cannot succeed when half of us are held back."
My favourite quote is from Michelle Obama. "When someone is cruel or acts like a bully, you don't stoop to their level. No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high."
My favourite quote is from Emma Watson. "Don't let anyone tell you what you can or can't do or achieve. Do what you want to do and be who you want to be. I pledge to challenge."
I'm Jenny Sargent, real estate partner at Fladgate, and in celebration of International Women's Day, I'd like to share my favourite quote with you, which is a dancer has always been, Ginger Rogers. "I did everything that he did, but backwards and in heels."
Hi! For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who said, "Culture does not make people, people make culture. If it is true that the full humanity of women is not our culture, then we can and must make it our culture."
My favourite quote is by Rabbi Hillel, the famous rabbi who lived in the 2nd century BCE. "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when?"
I am quoting my personal queen, Miss Beyonce Knowles Carter, with "Who run the world? Girls."
Here's to strong women.
May we know them. May we be them. May we raise them. Hashtag choose to challenge.
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Maya Angelou, who said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget the way that you made them feel."
Diversity is being invited to the party, inclusion is being asked to dance. My favourite quote from Verna Myers.
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Michelle Obama, who said, "Every girl, no matter where she lives, deserves the opportunity to develop the promise inside of her."
No country can ever truly flourish if it stifles the potential of its women and deprives itself of the contribution of half its citizens.
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Mary Wollstonecraft, who said, "I do not wish women to have power over men, but over themselves."
My favourite quote is by Eleanor Roosevelt. "A woman is like a tea bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water."
Hi, I'm Alex Hafner. I'm a partner in the corporate department at Fladgate. For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by the late, great Audrey Hepburn, who said, "Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible."
My mother told me to be a lady, and for her that meant be your own person, be independent. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
My favourite quote is from Amanda Gorman from President Biden's inauguration. "There is always light, if only we are brave enough to see it, if only we are brave enough to be it."
My favourite quote is by Michelle Obama, who said, "You may live in the world as it is, but you can still work to create the world as it should be."
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who said, "Justice is about making sure that being polite is not the same thing as being quiet. In fact, oftentimes, the most righteous thing you can do is shake the table."
National Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Maya Angelou, who said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humour, and some style."
Each time a woman stands up for herself, without knowing it, possibly, without claiming it, she stands up for all women.
For International Women's Day 2021, here's a quote by Dolly Parton. "If you want to see the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain."
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is from a poem by Rupi Kaur. She said, "I stand on the sacrifices of 1,000,000 women before me, thinking, what can I do to make this mountain taller so that the women after me can see farther?"
I've chosen to bring quotes from Golda Meir, who was the Prime Minister of Israel in the late 60s and early 70s. So when I was a young teenager, or a child even, and a young teenager. She was born in Russia in 1898, just to put her background into perspective. So she was the head of government, one of the first women heads of government in the world. So one quote is, "Whether women are better than men, I cannot say, but I can say they are certainly no worse." When one of her ministers suggested keeping women home nightly to discourage sexual assaults, she snapped, "The men are attacking the women. If there's to be a curfew, let the men stay home, not the women." And to one of her uppity ministers, she said, "Don't be so humble. You're not that great."
My favorite quote is by Malala Yousafzai, who said, "I raise up my voice not so that I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. We cannot all succeed when half of us are being held back."
"I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples." Mother Teresa.
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite inspirational quote is by Anthony J. D'Angelo. "Wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine."
Justice is about making sure that being polite is not the same thing as being quiet. In fact, oftentimes the most righteous thing that you can do is shake the table. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
For International Women's Day 2021, one of my favourite quotes is by Jackie Joyner Kersey, who said, "It's better to look ahead and prepare than to look back and regret."
Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Harriet Tubman.
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is by Rukhsana Naz, who said, "Until a woman is recognised as more than just a mother, a daughter and a sister and is valued for being an individual, I will continue working for our rights."
Success isn't about how much money you make, it's about the difference you make in people's lives.
Hello. Diversity is a fact, inclusion is a choice. A quote from Justin Trudeau, Premier of Canada. And we live that every day at Fladgate, and that's why I'm a supporter of International Women's Day, and I hope you will all be too.
For International Women's Day 2021, my favourite quote is an African proverb which says, "If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together."